Crafty Hope, and today I'm going to show you how to make some mixed media art charms. I really love these because they combine the mixed media art stuff that I like to play around with along with my jewelry making skills. So we're going to start here with a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I really didn't need that. It was a bit of overkill, but I wanted a base. I could have just used some copy paper, would have been fine. It was, like I said, it's a bit of overkill. And I'm going to collage it. I'm using an Uhu glue stick, but any old glue stick would work. This was just to get the paper down, and I'm going to cover the entire paper with these scraps of other papers. So I'm going to skip ahead here. There, hey, look, all my papers are down. And I'm going to use a mechanical pencil just to get some movement on there. I love some scratchy, scribbly marks on things, and it helps me kind of move from there. So this is just loads of scribbles and marks, because what we're going to do at the end is break this paper down, and I'm trying to get as many little details on the page so that later on when we cut it down, there are lots of little fun bits of beauty in it. And I'm going to cover the whole thing with gesso, and this is just brayered on to kind of push some of that background into the background and make everything a little more cohesive. All right, so that's all on there and dry. And my next thing is to add some color. I am using the Dilutions paints that come in the pans, and I'm using every single color I own, actually, y'all. So I'm not going to tell you what these colors are. You use what colors work for you, what feels right to you. I just wanted a bunch of bright pops of color, and I'm using a brayer to put it down. Not a brayer. What's that thing? A palette knife to put it down to give it a lot of organic randomness. But a paintbrush could have worked, or my finger, or even the brayer would have been fabulous. But I just want to get random bits of color all over. And the palette knife was easy. I had it, I went for it. And it works great with these pans because I can just dip it into it like that. So I'm going to I think I'm going to skip ahead on this too, because you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. Just scraping some paint around, having a good time. This was a lot of fun because I got to use my supplies and get kind of messy and really not have something that had to be an end piece. So there's all my color down, and I'm going to add some mark making. I'm going to use this black ink and a paintbrush, and I'm going to add a ton of little dashes and some X's and kind of just go all over the page with this. Again, that helps for when we break this down in a little while so that there are little touches of marks all over the page. So as you see, I'm big on those dashes. They're easy, they're repetitive. It kind of gives you that meditative state. I think I've said that before about these marks. And I'll move the page around as I do this as well to kind of let them go in all kinds of different directions. And once I get all of those down, I'm going to switch over to a Sharpie paint pen in white. This is actually one of the, I think they're called like poster markers or something like that, and they're water-based. And I'm just going to make dots all over. That helps add a touch of white in with all of that black. And it's just tiny little elements that are in here. And I'm going to get that all over the page. I especially like the white on top of some of the colors. It really pops in those areas. And once that's down, next thing I think is gonna be a black China marker just to add more sketchy lines. Really, I'm just going to, you see, just line, and just have fun with it. And then my last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some Nouveau mica spray, something like that. I'll have it below. And it's an antique gold, and add a little bit of spray and some splatters, and that gives just a touch of metallic beauty to it. So gonna do that and dry the whole thing, and we'll come back in with our next part, which is some of what's still the mixed media, but we're gonna incorporate a little bit of the jewelryness to it, kind of. Well, you'll see. So here I'm drying it, and this is a bezel, and it's basically just a bowl that you can put something in. And I have this punch that has, I don't know, a bunch of circles on it. And the largest circle in there actually fits in the bezel that I have, but all those extra little circles will come in handy too. So I'm going to punch this about 3 times on our little mixed media art piece. And I'm going to stop here in a second, and I think some of them went flying onto the floor because, yeah, that's how I roll. Is everything just kind of goes everywhere. Once I get those picked up, I'm going to start flipping them kind of over and looking at them. There are the 3 big ones I punched. I love them. You can see how each of them has some details on it, some dots, some little black marks, all kinds of fun. So I picked out 2 that had some of the similar elements on it. They had like the magenta on there. And for a little bit of contrast, I've got a book page there, and I'm also going to just use that same punch and punch out some more circles. So I've picked out one of the circles there, and I'm going to layer these. So once I kind of, I'm going to do my fiddling because that's what I do is fiddle around with it. I'm going to grab Distress Oxide in Black Soot and just edge the book page one and the smallest one so that they have a little more definition on that mixed media background there. And I also find that all of them need a little more glue to them, so I'll be adding glue to them throughout. Here's where I'm like, oh, no, wait, this one needs it too. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to grab something. See, I keep putting in there. So there's where I see I need some more glue. And that's totally a me thing. And my rush to glue things down and my messiness, I don't notice it. And so it's easy enough to fix. So I'm going to use some Mod Podge. This is the Mod Podge, I believe, gloss. It doesn't really matter. It has several purposes. I'm using it both as an adhesive and as a sealer in this. The adhesive helps it stick into the bezel, but then you also want to seal because we're going to be using some resin. And resin has a tendency with paper to seep in and make it transparent. And sometimes that's super cool and awesome and you want that, and sometimes you don't. Now, I really like my assemblage of this, so I wasn't super keen on it seeping through any of that, but if it did, it's really okay because it's a mixed media piece and it gives it a little more dimension and texture, and so that's okay. But the Mod Podge helps. I'm going to be thorough with it, but not like super thorough. I'm not sealing the edges as much as I should. I'm really just getting the tops and the bottoms. And then I grabbed some of the Tim Holtz stickers. I think that may be the snarky ones there. But anyway, it says, I am fabulous. And I'm cutting it down to make sure it fits into my little bezel. And once I get it cut, I'm going to stick it down. I'm going to use more of the Mod Podge to help seal it in place and again, seal the top of it. Because that, for one, I really didn't want to be distorted too much. I want you to still be able to read that. So I'm going to come in again with that same paintbrush and seal it. I'm trying to keep any kind of stray hairs or things out of that. Now I ended up making 6 of these, and I'll have a giveaway of those. I'm going to have details about it at the end. So y'all stay tuned till we get to the end of this. But once I get this sealed, here I'm zooming in because I'm going to break out my other bezels, and you're going to see I'm going to start playing with them a little bit, showing you that I can use some of those other papers I use as well as that background, that book page, and that I'll be giving away all of these. So y'all watch till the end. All right, so I'm going to seal this, and then I'm pulling out my UV resin. Now this is a resin that cures with UV light. I have a lamp that I can use that does that. It's something you can find in most jewelry sections currently at craft stores. I've seen them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Joann's. All have a UV resin set. So just keep an eye out for those. The lamp is actually like one of those nail lights, I guess, that you use for, I don't do nails. I don't know. So it's for drying nail polish, but it's kind of the same idea. So I've taken it, it cures in minutes. Um, and then I can add more layers to it. So I've got one good little layer on top of what we've done there, and I'm adding just a little bit of a Posca paint pen. But I've also, on some of the others, I added lace and rub-ons and all kinds of fun things. And so I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a layer to this. And y'all, with this, I just kept adding layers. I'm just going to show you this one, but I think I added one more layer of resin after this one just to make sure everything was as smooth and deep and had that dimension that I wanted. So, and I'm using a plastic paintbrush here because if it gets messed up and ruined with the resin, I don't care. So I'm going to show y'all how this ends up in just a second, as well as give you details about the giveaway. Stay tuned. Once I got done with this original one that y'all got to watch me make, I ended up making 5 more of these little art charms using little circles, but some of them have different little things in them, some dictionary text in the background, rub-ons, all kinds of little fun things. Most of them use the Tim Holtz small talk stickers. This one has one of the Tim Holtz rub-ons in it. And I had a lot of fun mixing this up and just kind of combining things and layering it, and the options are kind of open to you what you want to do. But if you like these, I want to give y'all the opportunity to win one. So I'm going to give these 6 away. I've got a couple of different ideas of how these can be used. For one, a jump ring could be added here, and you could put a length of chain through it to make it a necklace. I think they could be cute as little dangles hanging off the back of a journal, or even snip off the loop here and make it a medallion on the journal. So to enter the giveaway, I'm gonna have this giveaway last for about 2 weeks. I'll have the information below of when it's gonna end, because I don't know when I'll get this video up. So, but I will pull from that. I would prefer it be a somebody with a US address, so sorry about that, my international folks. But let me know to enter in the comments below which of these. I'll have pictures at the end, and I'll show y'all real quick in here which one you would like and how you would use it. So let me know those things below. I'll enter you into the giveaway, and like I said, I will draw for a winner in whatever date I put below. All right, so here's a good look. We've got I Am Fabulous. We have Be Amazed. You Are Enough. Believe. Choose Joy. And then Hugs and Kisses. So those are the 6 that are available. Like I said, you may not win the one you pick, but I'd like to know which one you think is the best. And if your name is pulled, I will let you know which ones are available. All right, guys. Good luck, and thanks for watching, and keep on crafting on. Bye.